Most people think spiritual awakening only happens in your mind or heart. But what if your body is actually the first to notice something is shifting? Those nagging episodes of unexplained fatigue, sudden digestive changes, or odd aches aren't random. They're rarely discussed signs that your body is recalibrating for a deeper transformation. Today, discover the hidden physical signs of spiritual awakening your body sends before your mind catches up. By looking at these symptoms through a new lens, you can start to understand what your body is really trying to say when discomfort shows up. So, why does your body react in such strange ways when you begin seeking deeper meaning? For many people, the first sign of spiritual change isn't a sudden insight or emotional breakthrough. It's a wave of physical symptoms that seem to come out of nowhere. Maybe you wake up one morning with a deep exhaustion that lingers for days. Or you notice your body reacting in new ways when you try to slow down and reflect. These experiences are more common than you might think, and they often mark the body's own call to adventure. While much of the conversation around awakening focuses on thoughts and feelings, the body is often the first to register that something significant is happening beneath the surface. Consider Maya, who attended her first silent retreat, seeking clarity and peace. After a couple of days spent in quiet reflection, she was surprised to find herself overwhelmed by fatigue. Her limbs felt unusually heavy, her mind was foggy, and even simple movements took effort. The sensation wasn't like ordinary tiredness from lack of sleep or overwork. At first, she worried that she was coming down with something or had caught a bug. But after speaking with the retreat leader, she learned that this deep exhaustion had affected many others there as well. The leader explained that when you begin releasing old patterns or beliefs, your body often responds by letting go of stored tension and emotional residue, which can show up as physical symptoms long before your mind fully understands what's happening. This isn't just a personal story. It's a pattern seen in many people who embark on a journey of self-discovery. When you start questioning your routines or searching for purpose, your body can become hypersensitive to anything that doesn't align with where you're headed. This hypersensitivity might show up as aches, headaches, tingling, or digestive changes. It's easy to interpret these signals as something to fix or suppress, but what if they're actually early indicators that you're stepping into a new phase of life? Emerging research in neuroscience and mind-body medicine suggests that spiritual awakening can trigger real shifts in the nervous system and hormone production. The body may try to recalibrate itself, releasing old, dense energies and stored stress. As your awareness expands, your body might reject old patterns that no longer fit, sometimes quite forcefully. This recalibration can feel uncomfortable, even brutal at times, but it's a sign that your system is preparing to support a new level of consciousness. The sensations aren't random malfunctions. They're part of a larger process of transformation. Think of your aches and fatigue as threshold guardians, marking your path's beginning. In stories, the threshold guardian appears just as the hero is about to cross into a new world, challenging enough to make you pause, but not meant to stop you. Your body's signals are like these guardians, not warnings to turn back, but invitations to slow down, pay attention, and honor the changes taking place. If you meet these signals with curiosity instead of fear, you can start to see them as milestones rather than obstacles. This perspective can be a relief, especially if you're used to powering through discomfort or dismissing your body's needs. Instead of pushing past the fatigue or covering up the aches, Try asking yourself what your body is trying to communicate. Sometimes, the message is as simple as rest. Other times, it's a deeper call to spend time alone, change your environment, or let go of habits that no longer serve you. When you listen, you might notice subtle shifts in your intuition or a growing sense of clarity, even if your mind hasn't caught up yet. As more people share their experiences, it's become clear that the body's role in spiritual awakening is both profound and underappreciated. Physical symptoms often appear before any conscious realization of change, serving as an early warning system that something meaningful is underway. You might go through days or weeks of feeling off, tired, achy, or restless, only to realize later that your outlook on life has shifted, or that you're drawn to new ways of being. Once you recognize these signs for what they are, you can approach them with greater compassion. Instead of spiraling into worry or frustration, you can treat your symptoms as natural parts of the process. The discomforts mark the beginning of your journey, signaling that your body is adjusting to support your growth. Your body steps forward to guide you, often before your conscious mind understands the full picture. This brings us to one of the most common and challenging aspects of the body's call to adventure: the sudden, deep fatigue and sleep disruptions that often arrive just as you're seeking more light and energy in your life. Why is it that people on a spiritual path, often seeking inner light and vibrance, find themselves suddenly more tired than ever? Instead of the clarity and energy you might expect from a spiritual awakening, you may find yourself weighed down by a fatigue that refuses to lift. This isn't the tiredness that comes from a long day or a restless night. It's a persistent heaviness, a sense that your body is working overtime behind the scenes. For many, this deep exhaustion is the body's first response to a shift in consciousness, a signal that something profound is underway, even before your thoughts or emotions catch up. Alongside this fatigue, sleep itself often changes in unexpected ways. Nights can become a patchwork of restless hours, early morning wake-ups, or periods of unusually deep sleep. Vivid, memorable dreams are common, sometimes so intense that they linger after you wake up. These dreams might be strange, symbolic, or emotionally charged, leaving you puzzled about their meaning. Many people find themselves asking why their nights are suddenly filled with such activity, and why true rest seems just out of reach. Consider Alex, who began his spiritual journey with enthusiasm, meditating daily, journaling, and reflecting on his life. Soon after, he noticed his energy dropping. He needed more naps, skipped social plans, and found even simple tasks exhausting. At first, Alex worried he was becoming lazy or unwell. Only when he learned about the physical side of awakening did he realize his body was adjusting to something new. The fatigue wasn't a setback. It was a sign that his system was recalibrating to support a deeper transformation. This recalibration isn't just about feeling tired. During spiritual awakening, the body undergoes a sort of cellular reset, adjusting to new energetic frequencies. As your awareness expands, your nervous system and body chemistry shift to accommodate the change. This process demands more rest, as your body integrates new information and releases what no longer serves you. Some people even notice minor aches or discomforts that fade over time, a sign that the body is letting go of old tension as it adapts. Sleep disturbances are a natural part of this phase. Many experiencers find their sleep shifts, with more vivid dreams and waking up at unusual times. These changes aren't failures or signs that something's wrong. They're indications that your consciousness is expanding and your body is processing that growth. The nervous system needs downtime to integrate these shifts, which is why, even after a full night's sleep, you might wake feeling as if you've been working hard all night. Dreams during this period often become more active and meaningful. You may find yourself remembering intricate details or waking up with strong emotions. These dreams can bring up old fears, surface forgotten memories, or introduce symbolic guides and messages. Rather than being random, these experiences serve as a bridge between your subconscious and conscious mind, helping to clear out old energy and integrate new insights. Some traditions view this as a form of energetic clearing, where the body and mind work together to release what's no longer needed. If you notice your sleep changing or feel more tired than usual, it's important to recognize that this is a natural part of the awakening process. Acceptance can make a big difference. When you stop fighting your body's need for rest and instead allow yourself to slow down, you support the integration that's taking place. This phase is temporary, but it's essential for building a foundation that can sustain new levels of awareness and clarity. You're not alone if you wake up groggy or find your dreams taking on new intensity. Many people experience this stage and move through it, coming out the other side with a stronger sense of self and deeper insight. Fatigue, restless nights, and vivid dreams are not detours. They are part of your body's way of preparing for what's next. As your body adjusts, you may notice other changes as well. Everyday experiences, like bright lights, loud noises, or even favorite foods, can suddenly feel overwhelming. This next phase brings a new set of challenges and signals, showing just how closely your physical senses are tied to your inner growth. During spiritual awakening, it's common to notice your body responding in new and sometimes confusing ways. You might find that sitting in a noisy cafe leaves you feeling tense and overstimulated, or that a food you once enjoyed suddenly causes discomfort. Maybe you walk into a bright store and your head aches, or a familiar scent now feels overwhelming. These shifts can appear without warning, and often there's no obvious medical explanation. For many, this phase is marked by an increase in headaches, muscle aches, and digestive changes that don't fit your usual patterns. It can be unsettling, especially if you start to question whether your body is working against you. What's actually happening is that your body is recalibrating. As you move into greater self-awareness, your system starts to reject what no longer aligns with your changing needs. This heightened sensitivity isn't just about being bothered by lights or noise. It's your body's way of signaling that it needs different inputs to support your growth. For example, someone who once thrived in busy environments may suddenly crave quiet, or foods that used to be staples might now seem too heavy or irritating. This is not a sign of weakness, but an indication that your body is trying to match your new state of awareness. Consider Priya, who had always enjoyed a wide variety of foods and worked comfortably in a lively office. As her spiritual practices deepened, she began to experience digestive trouble after meals she'd always tolerated. Coffee made her jittery, and strong perfumes in the office elevator suddenly caused nausea. Medical tests offered no clear answers. It was only after a conversation with her yoga teacher that Priya realized these sensitivities were part of her body's way of asking for higher quality nourishment and calmer surroundings. What felt like a setback became a signal to pay closer attention to her needs. From the perspective of ancient Chinese and modern holistic traditions, these symptoms make sense. Shifts in energy are known to create temporary inflammation and soreness as blockages clear. Your body might ache in different places, shoulders one week, knees the next, because it's physically releasing old tension and recalibrating to a new energetic frequency. When something is out of tune with your evolving state, your body reacts until balance is restored. This process can bring headaches, muscle pain, or even random aches that move around, but these signs often fade as your system adjusts. Modern science also offers insight. The gut-brain axis, which links your digestive system and your mind, is especially sensitive during periods of change. When your stress levels shift or you enter a deeper state of self-awareness, your digestion often reflects this. You might notice new food sensitivities, changes in appetite, or even temporary inflammation. These aren't just random symptoms. They're evidence that your body is responding to subtle energetic cues, not just physical ones. Heightened sensitivity can extend beyond the physical, too. As your awareness grows, you may find yourself more attuned to the emotions and moods of others. Sometimes, after a conversation with someone who's feeling low, you might leave feeling drained or achy, even though you felt fine before. Crowded or emotionally charged spaces can feel overwhelming until you learn to recognize what's happening. This increased empathy is another way your body processes and releases old energy, making space for more clarity and light. Managing these changes doesn't require drastic action, but small, consistent practices can help. Try 5 minutes of barefoot grounding outside to ease sensitivity. Stay hydrated to support your body's natural detox process. Gentle movement, like stretching or a short walk, helps release tension and keeps energy flowing. Eating intuitively, choosing foods that feel right for you now, and making space for quiet time can also help your body adjust. These tools aren't just for moments of discomfort. They're ongoing ways to support your body as it adapts to new energy. These experiences, sensitivity, aches, and shifting physical responses are not signs that something is wrong. Instead, they show that your body is actively processing and releasing old layers, making room for new energy and awareness. You're not becoming weaker. You're learning to listen to your body's evolving needs and to support your growth in practical ways. Still, it's natural to wonder, how do you know if these symptoms are truly part of awakening, or if they point to something more serious? This is a real concern for many, and understanding the difference is an important part of your journey. Sorting out the difference between awakening symptoms and genuine health concerns can feel like walking a tightrope. You notice exhaustion, headaches, or odd sensations, and wonder if your body is simply adjusting to new energy, or if something else is going on. This uncertainty is common, and it's easy to feel pulled between trusting your intuition and worrying about missing an important health signal. The truth is, the physical side of awakening can be intense, but caution and self-awareness go hand in hand. Olivia's story is a good example. She started her spiritual journey with waves of tiredness and sudden sensitivities. At first, she chalked it up to energetic shift and tried to write it out. But as weeks passed, a persistent pain in her side and unexplained weight loss appeared. Friends suggested it was just more energy releasing, but Olivia's symptoms didn't fade. When she finally saw a doctor, she learned her body needed medical support, not just energetic rest. Her experience shows that while spiritual practices can make you more sensitive and trigger temporary physical changes, not every symptom should be explained away as part of the journey. Sometimes, your body is asking for direct, practical care. So how can you approach your body's signals with both openness and discernment? Start by noticing what you're experiencing, without immediately labeling it as spiritual or physical. Many signs of awakening, like temporary inflammation, headaches, or muscle aches, often show up as your body recalibrates, especially after meditation or emotional release. These symptoms tend to ebb and flow, sometimes fading as quickly as they arrive. If you notice that your sensitivities, aches, or fatigue shift based on your environment, mood, or energy practices, it's likely your body is responding to energetic changes. However, holistic clinicians recommend combining intuition with medical checks. If symptoms persist beyond a few weeks or worsen, please consult a medical professional to rule out physical causes. This isn't about doubting your spiritual journey. It's about honoring your body's needs on all levels. High fevers, severe pain, rapid weight changes, unexplained bleeding, or ongoing discomfort are not just energetic signals. They need medical attention. Even more subtle symptoms like ongoing headaches or fatigue deserve to be taken seriously if they don't resolve with rest or gentle self-care. Our emotions and energy shifts can mirror physical symptoms, so tune in, but stay balanced with professional care. This middle ground is where real growth happens. You don't have to choose between honoring your spiritual path and taking care of your health. They support each other. By listening closely and responding with both curiosity and responsibility, you create a foundation for deeper healing. One simple tool is to track patterns in symptoms with a simple journal to spot energy-related changes versus medical issues. Write down when symptoms appear, what was happening in your life, and how you responded. Over time, patterns can emerge. Maybe headaches follow stressful days, or fatigue lifts after time in nature. This kind of tracking gives you clarity and helps you communicate clearly with health professionals if you need advice. It's also helpful to seek outside feedback. Talk honestly with your doctor, a holistic practitioner, or a trusted mentor about what you're experiencing. Don't minimize symptoms to fit a spiritual narrative, and don't ignore your inner knowing. When you bring both perspectives together, you're less likely to miss something important and more likely to move through this phase with confidence. Learning to navigate this territory is a form of self-respect. You become someone who can honor the body's wisdom, respond to its needs, and still embrace the transformative nature of awakening. This approach builds resilience and self-trust, allowing you to move forward with clarity rather than confusion. As you continue, you may notice that your relationship with your body shifts. What once felt like a source of worry becomes a well of insight. The very symptoms that challenged you begin to reveal new strengths and a deeper sense of connection to yourself. This is where the journey turns from struggle to integration, and your body's story becomes a foundation for lasting growth. After you've moved through the confusion and discomfort of awakening, a new phase begins. One where the lessons you've gathered start to take root in your daily life. This is the return with the elixir stage, where embodying wisdom and reclaiming your power becomes the focus. Instead of looking back at symptoms with frustration, you begin to see how each challenge has shaped you and taught you to trust your body as a source of guidance. Jamie's experience illustrates this turning point. After months marked by fatigue, digestive changes, and restless nights, she found herself at a crossroads. Instead of pushing through or ignoring her body's signals, Jamie started to listen more closely. She took slow walks, chose simple meals, and wrote short reflections about what she was feeling. Gradually, She noticed her intuition becoming clearer and her confidence growing. What had once felt like isolation shifted into a sense of self-trust. She began to speak up when needed, and to honor her body's requests for rest or quiet. Jamie's breakthrough didn't come from a dramatic event, but from learning to work with her body's wisdom day by day. This kind of integration is what research calls post-awakening embodiment. Rather than leaving behind the challenges, you bring what you've learned into each moment. The aches, sensitivities, and restless nights become reminders of your ability to adapt and respond. You start to recognize that your struggles weren't setbacks. They were your body learning to lead you. Each time you chose to listen instead of resist, you built resilience and a deeper sense of self-respect. Holistic studies show lasting growth comes from weaving lessons into daily habits. The most effective practices are often the simplest. Grounding, such as standing barefoot on the earth or taking a few slow breaths before starting your day, helps you reconnect when life feels scattered. Regular breath check-ins, where you pause and notice how you're feeling, can reveal subtle shifts in your energy or mood. Intuitive eating, where you choose foods based on what your body asks for rather than old habits, supports ongoing balance. These small rituals aren't about perfection. They're about building a routine that honors your needs as they change. As you continue to practice, you might notice that your relationship with your body shifts even further. Old patterns of ignoring discomfort or pushing past limits give way to a more compassionate approach. You begin to see discomfort not as a problem to solve, but as information, your body's way of guiding you toward what's needed next. This shift from resistance to curiosity is where long-term transformation happens. The process of embodying wisdom isn't about avoiding future challenges. It's about meeting them with a new perspective. You recognize that your body's signals are part of a feedback system, helping you adjust and grow. When you honor these messages, you become more resilient and better able to navigate life's ups and downs. Over time, you may find that moments of peace, clarity, or creative inspiration arrive more often. These are signs that the work you've done is becoming part of who you are. The long-term gifts of this journey include a stronger sense of self-trust and a deeper connection to life itself. By seeing your body as an ally, you transform anxiety into curiosity. You approach new symptoms with interest rather than fear, and you're able to respond with both care and confidence. This doesn't mean you'll never face discomfort again, but you'll know how to move through it with awareness and compassion. As you embody the wisdom gained from your experience, you also begin to notice a shift in how you relate to others. Compassion grows, not just for yourself, but for those around you. You realize that everyone is moving through their own version of this journey, and your understanding deepens. The rituals and habits you've developed continue to support you, helping you stay grounded and present even as life changes. This phase isn't about reaching a final destination. It's about living in alignment with what you've learned and allowing your body's wisdom to guide your choices. By honoring your body's signals and integrating spiritual lessons into daily life, you reclaim your power in a quiet, steady way. All of these changes point to a simple truth. Your body is not just along for the ride. It plays an active role in your awakening, shaping your path and offering guidance at every step. When you recognize this partnership, you move forward with greater confidence and clarity, prepared for whatever comes next. As you reflect on your journey, remember that your body plays an active role in every stage of spiritual awakening. Headaches, fatigue, or shifts in appetite aren't random. They're your body's way of signaling deeper changes and guiding you toward self-understanding. What once felt like a setback may actually be a milestone, marking your progress as you realign with your higher self. Share in the comments one body signal you're experiencing and how you've reframed it on your path. Let's discuss how your body has spoken to you and what you've learned from listening. Honor these early signs. Listen, learn, and step confidently on your path. When body and spirit speak as one, your awakening truly begins.